right, so this is the den. uh, it's a cool little area that I've made over the years, kind of a childhood hangout. I built this rock wall. I moved all these big old rocks, at least most of them, when I was a little kid. I got St. Francis here and all his little animals and a deer skull, which is pretty cool. I got this little, I've only used this thing once, and I found all the bricks just around down at this creek here, and I got some extra bricks. And then I have this little area. This little area is for a chair to be at, and that way the chair doesn't sink into the dirt, because if you just put a chair down here, the dirt's pretty soft and it'll slowly sink down, especially if the legs have small ends. So yeah, that's what this little patio thing is for. The reason why I'm shooting this video is just to lay down my ideas I have for this area and my concerns about this area, and kind of log my progress. So there's this, so it's on a hill, right? So this little hill, it's almost a cliff. It's very steep, and the water will get pretty high up onto this hill and it'll erode a lot of this stuff, and the rain will just erode and everything flows down right into here. So I think what I want to do is, you can see there's some boulders in the hill, right? And those are just from the rock wall. They've just toppled off the rock wall and they've fallen on the hill. And actually, I'm really happy with this, because they've acted as retaining boulders that I think prevent erosion for sure. So I think I would like to maybe install more retaining boulders. I'd say the retaining boulders in quotation marks, I don't think that's, I want them to be quite a bit bigger. The bigger they are, probably the more effective they would be. However, it's going to be really hard to install big ones on such a steep slope, I think. That's why I want some advice maybe for this. And then the other thing is, I want a drainage way right here. So I'm thinking just decent sized rocks just piled up on this little steep, muddy, that's already a natural kind of drainage way. Like when it's really flooding, you'll see lots of water going down here and it's eroding too fast. I'd like to see it, because I don't know, I don't want a bunch of stuff just to erode into the creek. I care a lot about this creek and all the erosion. It's not good for the salmon. You can see how brown it is. So I don't want this cliff to erode away. So I think a little drainage way would be great. My other thing I want to do with this place is, see this area? This area is where a tree fell down. See? About 4 or 5 years ago. And it blocked a little staircase that I built. I would like to cut all these branches and stuff inside of here and kind of make a tunnel where my stairway was. I feel like a tunnel would be really cool, and then you could just go out to the creek so you could walk down really nice and easy. And a tunnel, no less, which would just be a really cool touch. I found this piece of railroad tie. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but I think I'll use it as a step, because the steps I had built weren't very good, and they could use some work for sure, probably. But I think that would be a really cool thing to do. So, yeah, I'm just looking for some advice. Oh, one last thing. Now, I think I discovered this accidentally when I was a little kid. Was I put a bunch of logs down on this side of the cliff. And it was pretty bare. It wasn't like there was a bunch of trees and stuff growing before then, right? Well, I put all these logs down. And then plants started growing when I put all those logs down. I think it prevented a lot of erosion. And I thought that was interesting. I've never heard of that technique, and I've taken a watershed class before, and they talked a lot about erosion and stuff, but I never heard of that specifically. I've heard of using like big old logs in a creek, but they weren't huge logs or anything. They were just pretty big branches I would lay down on the cliffside, and then I think it really helped plants establish. And usually, like when they put logs down in creeks, it's not for plants to be established really. It's more sort of to provide fish habitat and like little pools to form around them. Because this is like the high water mark, you know. This is not where the stream flows most of the time. All right. Well, thank you. Goodbye.